Alright guys, I want to take a quick video of my swagtron T6 Outlaw hoverboard this is the second one I got. This is the box it comes in. And that comes inside of this box. And yes, it's made in China. There's 3 colors. I got the black one. Now this is my second one. The first one I had, I got it on clearance. They had reconditioned units for, I think it was $279 or $249, $219 maybe? I think it was $219. And I received it without this outer box when I ordered it. I just got this box. It was kind of beat up and it had some problems. And it also appears that it was an older, more durable model. I did some reading and that's what I found out. The replacement is a newer, cheaper model which does not have as strong motors. The motors aren't as strong as the first one. These pads are elevated on this one. The first series, the pads are flush with this surface here. I don't have it plugged in right now. I can turn it on. Power switch is down here. Okay, there's a battery meter and a Bluetooth signal, and it's standing up right now. There's an app you have to download to control different things about the hoverboard. Here is the charging port. 3 prongs, and it's got this rubber plug that fits over it. And the charger itself is super cheap, crappy feeling, and it's very light. And it's got the corresponding end, and it is keyed. It's got that notch in there where you can only put it in one way. And you're supposed to get, there's a red LED here when you're charging. And after it charges up, it turns green. The first unit I had, I plugged it in and started charging it, and I got a blinking green there. And the hoverboard charge was at 30%. You check it on the app, and it would not increase no matter how long I charged it. So there was something wrong with either the batteries inside or the charger. And I sent it back. It was within 30 days, 30-day window. And they returned it, and they paid for shipping. They gave me a UPC, a RMA with a label, and I didn't have to pay for shipping, which probably would have been about $50. And also on that other unit, let me turn this off. There was, these things are, they're kind of hit or miss as far as reliability. To fill the tire, there's a cap here. This is a standard cap like that's on your car. You unscrew it and there's an air nozzle there. I think it's a standard air nozzle. Because on both of these, when I got them, one tire was flat or near flat and the other one was pumped up. And when you pump them up, they have that radius on them, which makes a big difference. If they're not pumped up, they have a flat surface, which actually draws away from the power of the motors and makes turning really difficult. This thing wasn't turning right, and it wasn't turning hardly at all. In learning mode, I was like, man, I'm sending this thing back. But I charged it up, pumped up the tires like hard. I don't do off-road, and I'm a huge guy. I'm 6 foot, 330, and so I pump them all the way up to get the maximum power out of the motors, the least rolling resistance. And I can turn. I found that I can turn much easier. It turns normally. Not in learning mode. In learning mode, there's simply not enough power with this unit because of I think it's the downsized motors, where in learning mode, it just doesn't cut it. It's not enough power. So I put it in standard mode, which gives it a little more juice, and I can turn no problem. I can ride normally. Whereas the other one I had, I could put it in learning mode and I could steer normally, turn normally, no problems. The other older ones seem to be about at least an inch wider on both ends too. This one seems narrower, which I don't really care for, and it is much lighter. And there is a bit of a redesign on these handles. They feel a little different. They're a little more contoured on this one, whereas on the first one, the older model, they weren't as contoured and they were kind of sharp. But I believe these are aluminum, these guards. They're fairly substantial. I mean, when you stand on it, there's no flex. And I'm a huge guy. There is no flex at all. And it seems rigid enough. I'm not concerned about anything breaking or bending. Also on the first, I failed to mention, on the first board I had, there is a space where the axle is spaced about, I don't know, 3/8 here at the clearance. For some reason, the axle on the other unit I received was pushed in, and that air nozzle would rub. As the tire turned, it would make a click, 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 because the whole tire and axle got pushed in. The other one was okay, but this one doesn't have it. This one has good clearance, and it works good. There's Bluetooth speakers. I've never used them. Don't ask me. That's not my deal. But as I heard, they don't go that loud, and why? It's a hoverboard. It's not a Bluetooth radio. Also, my first board, you got to have one of these extenders to fill up the air. You screw it in, and these things are kind of cheap because there's no check valve on the other side. It's just a hollow tube. Normally there's like a pin in there, you know, like where you push the pin in, like a car tire valve, or whatever that valve is, a Schrader valve, or whatever that's called. This, where you screw it on, and it'll just start blowing air out, where you have to put a cap on it, and then just kind of hurry up and unscrew it. It unscrews fairly quickly. You unscrew it, and then put the cap from this onto there. It's kind of a hinky deal. These things, this is $10. The first one I had to order separate from the hoverboard. Now I've got two of them. This one came with it. And these are super cheap. If you could find a good aftermarket one that has like an actual valve, it would be better. I got a little compressor I use to pump up the tires. I think it's 41 PSI max on these. I keep them max because I need the rolling resistance low as possible. These are lights. They do come on and they switch colors when you go forward or backward, like reverse lights. They do function like that. And also, when you start it up, once you get familiar with the app, you sync the Bluetooth and you put it in standby mode and check auto balance. When you turn it on and push the button, this thing will automatically level and just sit there waiting for you. And it's sturdy. You can stand on it. It doesn't move. And when you get your other foot on, it knows it when you push one of the sensors, it goes bloop, bloop, because it knows when you're standing on it, and then it goes into like motion mode. But I'm not super good on it yet. I haven't had a lot of time, but I can get around on it. Just not with any speed yet. I can get around, but I'm still learning. I'm super pressed for time all the time. So, and plus we've had garbage weather in California. It's been pouring rain every single day. So when the rain stops, we get some real weather, then I'll get out and start using this out in the driveway, but I'm not going to try to ride it in the rain and learn in the rain. What else? Comes with a little manual. I don't know. But if this model versus the first model, the older model, I would definitely take one of the older models if I had a working one, which I did not. So the one they sent me was defective. This one does work, does charge, does have clearance with the wheels, and it's functional. It's just a little smaller, and it's got weaker motors, which is obvious. It's a little more of a toy. They call this the Walmart version, or they say it's Walmart ready. I forgot what they call it. I don't know. But if you look, they keep talking about 410-pound weight limit, When you look in the actual booklet, though, it says 220. So I think it'll hold probably 400 pounds, but your battery life is greatly is reduced to a point depending on how you're riding it and your tire pressures and all that. It will be reduced if you're a heavier dude versus if you're a lightweight kid. You're gonna get all kinds of mileage all day long. But so as far for a summary, I would say Swagtron has quality control issues. They need a manual. They need to hire a technical writer to rewrite their manual. It's horrible. They omit everything. They don't tell anything about the LED colors, what they mean. I had to go with customer service on the chat to figure out what was what, and got it straightened out. But the manual is not comprehensive at all, and for something that's pretty substantial. I mean, for $300 or for $279, I got this for $279. Now they're up $349. You catch them on sale. They say they're going to raise the price. They raise it for a while, then they drop the prices. Swagtron seems to be a real inconsistent company. It seems to be kind of a Mickey Mouse operation as far as quality control, customer service, things like that. And my advice to you is, if you buy one, I would say there's probably an 80% chance that it'll be a perfectly working unit. A lot of people I hear have problems. You read on all the forums, people have problems, varying problems, trying to take them apart and fix them. I'm never going to take it apart. There's no need. I'm not like on it all the time, and I don't want to void the warranty or whatever, but yeah, if you need the capacity, I mean, I guess it's the strongest one out, which is cool, and that alone puts it in a kind of a class of its own, because grown men ride these things, like it's not just a kid thing. But I would think that another company who came in and started constructing these with a little bit of mechanical know-how, you could probably eat Swagtron's lunch at this point. They are lacking in several areas. Their social media is lacking. Quality control is lacking. I don't know about their manufacturing. Well, it's made in China, so right there, I mean, if you made one of these things in the USA and put some quality behind it and put $500 price tag on it, MSRP, you'd probably be selling these all day long. Put some red, white, and blue on there or something like that. Rename it. You'd probably be selling these all day long. Matter of fact, I'm in manufacturing, so if you want to get with me, hit me up and maybe I can get something going with you or whatever. Or just steal my idea, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But these are metal rims. These are not plastic. Those are metal rims. Looks like machined aluminum. Yeah, it's a substantial. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, 30 pounds. I think it's 32 pounds, something like that. But substantial machine. It's pretty impressive when it works. This one works great, so I'm keeping it, and I'm not going to use it all the time. I'm going to keep it nice, and so it stays nice. But yeah, that's my quick 2 cents on Swagtron. Roll the dice. Buy a new one. That's the only chance you're going to get one that actually is fully functional. But beware, these are the new ones that are available at Walmart. So if you guys are familiar with how people have to sell merchandise at Walmart, you have to cut your quality, cut your price, and up your output. And that's obviously what they're doing here. It still seems like they have a good product, but room for improvement, yes. Anyways, that's it for now. Quick 2 cents on Swagtron. Maybe I'll make a better review in the future, but that's it. All right, thanks.